Make some noise for Nick Guarneri, everybody. Let him hear it.
Hey guys. How's it going? Hey, it's fucking hot out today. Has anybody been outside today? Because it's fucking hot. No? Yeah, I like 5 seconds out the door and I was like, I don't remember putting on liquid underpants today. I felt like my boys had taken a field trip to the local aquarium. It was terrible. But anyway, yeah, so I feel like every guy is good at making one dish, you know, like in the kitchen. And, you know, like my one friend's really good at making chili. My signature dish is Harry Balzania. It's just fun to say. It's Harry Balzania. My wife calls up, she's like, what's for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know, that's your department. But I've got a mean Harry Balzania for you. It's fun. It's a family recipe. But anyway, so yeah, me and my wife just got married recently. We waited until she got out of jail, of course, you know. But you know, everybody's like, oh, how's marriage? You know, how's married life? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Except for the part where like I'm just getting yelled at all the time. My life is just like, don't get yelled at like all the time. Like recently, she yells at me about everything. Like recently, she was like getting all pissed off that I wouldn't cut my toenails. I'm like, what the fuck? This is how I'm gonna protect us, you know? Like, well, we drink way too much beer for me to own a gun. Like, this is the only thing I have that can protect us. Like, it makes me think that I'm like a velociraptor, you know, like tapping my toe on the kitchen floor when somebody comes in. Jump out and slice their head off. I don't think that the female velociraptor goes to her husband and is like, I'm sorry, honey, you're gonna have to cut that gross shit off your foot or sleep on the couch. So my brother graduated college, and he's been asking me all these questions because he's, you know, interviewing for jobs, and he's in the same industry as me. So I'm happy to help him, you know. And so he's asking me all these questions about job interviews, and it takes me back to the job interview mindset, you know. And I realized, looking back, that there is definitely a distinct lack of rap music lyrics in the job interview process. Like he asked me, he's like, "What should I do when salary comes up?" I'm like, just tell them that you want more O's than they know exist. Tell them that you're trying to avoid show dough, little to no dough, and or sell a bunch of records and still owe dough. Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, you know? In my 4.6 with my bitch, seat reclined, bumping some other shit. Some other shit. He got the job, so I'm presuming he didn't listen to me. But anyway, so you know, my wife recently, we went hunting, right? So we got all stoned first because you know I was forced to have it, and but we were not hunting. We were actually apple picking, and so you know we got all high, and like, the next day I went to work and I started feeling this like pain in my abdomen, and I'm like something's wrong, you know, like. So I went on WebMD and it was like, seek immediate medical attention. I'm like, okay, I'll do whatever you say, WebMD. So I went to the hospital and like about 20 minutes in I realized that I was high the day before and I ate 14 apples. And that was probably the problem. But I couldn't tell the doctor that because he's gonna be like, you're a fucking asshole, this guy's bleeding out in the waiting room and you're just an idiot. So I just played along with it and just waited and I just took a huge poop and just like rolled out. It was a shitty bill to pay. So I went to my first rodeo a couple months ago. Has anybody ever been to the rodeo?
Yeah!
Yeah, rodeo. This shit's weird, dude. It's kind of like my sex life. But, so the funny thing about the rodeo is that they have bull riding, right? Bull riding is like, in the food chain, we outrank the cow because we're smart, not because we're physically capable of owning the cow. But like our brains make us above it. But once you take our brain out, of the equation, like they're gonna fucking destroy us, and they hate us because we just own them. So they do the bull riding where they just put some asshole on top of the bull, and they're like, go to town, you know. And so they're in the cage, right? And when the cage door opens, that's when the mind aspect of the food chain comes out of the equation. And the bull just goes fucking ape shit, man. It's great to watch. Like, this guy's getting shaken like a paint jar. And like, his balls are just getting jackhammered by like raw steak. And if he doesn't last 8 seconds, everybody laughs at him. Like, man. And at that point I realized it's exactly like my sex life because A, one person outweighs the other by a lot. There is a 8-second time limit. And there's a shitload of people laughing at me. Yeah, she's a dietitian, so she fucking hates me. So I got a new line of ciders coming out soon. The first one's gonna be deep in, and the next one's gonna be the putting it in cider. You know, it's terrible. So my brain has always been scientific, right? I always wonder, like, I get things stuck in my head and I just can't let them go. Like, when I was a kid, I always wondered if I farted while I was washing my asshole, if there would be a bubble, right? I just couldn't let it go. I needed to know. So I kept thinking, every time I was farting, I was like, I wonder if there'd be a bubble. And every time I was in the shower, I was like, I wonder if there'd be a bubble. Finally, I was like, fuck it, and I just put the two together. And so I ate a bunch of shitty food in the name of science, of course. And so I went when the moment was approaching, I went in the shower, started, washing my asshole. I know we all have imaginations, but helping you out. So I'm like washing, and as soon as I farted, I spun around so fast to see if there was a bubble that I lost my footing, and I ate shit. I pulled everything down. I don't even know there's a bubble. I got like a concussion. The cops came in. It was fucking awful. This is the moral of the story is that whenever you practice science, make sure that you have a spotter. Okay, last one. Why was 6 afraid of 7?
Why?
7 was black. The joke doesn't make any sense because they were both black, but it says a lot about our society. Thanks, guys. I'm Nick.